basically destroy itself. Destroy itself. Hey, everybody.
I have
We're
no
live.
idea what's going
This
on.
is us. We are recording for the first time
Yeah.
ever.
Wait, ever? Oh,
Pretend
snap.
this isn't
Wait,
episode 45 or whatever we're on.
I haven't done this before. I'm a little scared.
We're
I
new
got
to the
stage fright.
podcasting world, and we're looking to make a mark. I know there's a lot of us.
Can I do the intro?
Yeah. You hit him with your intro.
Okay. Hello, princesses. Welcome to our first podcast. Today, I am Wham, and he is John, and we're gonna talk your ears off about super crazy things.
Okay, you're banned. You're banned from doing the intro ever again. That was it. Your one and only chance.
Oh
It's
no!
all over now.
But please, are you freaking serious?
Yes, I am freaking serious. Serious. There is going to be
But
no
but
mo you in the intro.
we're supposed to be making our mark. How this is very precarious.
But just don't worry about it. You hit me with the
They always told me not to dream too big.
Too late now, I guess. We're so high up in the
Welcome
sky.
back, everybody, to our totally first ever recording of a podcast that we've ever done in our entire lives. If you reference anything in the past, what is it, 3, 4 years? 4 years, 5 years? It's not real. It's all made up. It's a product of the Matrix. This is our first time outside of the Matrix, so we're gonna bring you the reality of the world.
Yes, we will. And you know what? Usually we don't have stuff prepared. Like almost every time, and somehow it just kind of works out.
Yeah, but
And that's pretty accurate to this time, though.
no. Well, this is different. This is a whole different podcast.
Yeah, it's true.
We
That's
are
true.
bringing about some. This is supposedly a 4th season, but I don't remember the previous 3. So we're changing things up. We're doing things different.
Yes, and in the spirit of changing things up, I've been listening to a lot of those. You just it's kind of like a robot AI voice telling
Yeah.
you motivational things in a very soothing voice. It's very hypnotizing. You just put it on the
Yes.
background, and it goes, day 1 or 1 day. How many days will it take to change your life? New year, new us, really. And in the spirit of new using, I think we should introduce a new segment that would be very heavily reliant on us having an audience, which, we got
We
like
do.
7 streams this week. That was pretty sick.
No. 700.
700, right? All 7,000, 7 million of our people.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I want to pitch this.
Just as
I want
big
to
as
pitch
Joe
this
Rogan.
to you on air. That way, you have all the pressure to say yes or
Yeah.
no, and you'll just ruin their all their hopes and dreams, right?
Do I know what this is going? This is news to me too. Do I get
exactly.
a choice?
I had this idea.
Okay.
I've really had it for a while and gone like, well, yeah, we kind of need a bigger audience for it, but we might as well start the ball rolling, right?
Yeah. New year, new us.
Yes. What if I'm talking to you, audience? What if you had, you needed advice and you needed life advice, or you had a question about reality and the world, or I don't know, a moral conundrum, or you wanted to tell us a knock knock joke. Any of these things are possible, because if you send an email to our email, which I guess I'll just say what our company, our official email is. That's probably all right.
You know what it is, right?
Yes. Actually, now I need to double check because I don't want to tell you the wrong. I don't want to tell you the wrong one. I'm gonna double check it.
The company email, our professional email is lambalajohn@gmail.com. That's LAMB
correct.
ALAJOHN@gmail.com.
Yes, and we'll put a link in the description if you want to. If you would, I mean, it would be great for us as well. Get some engagement up between us and our peeps. If you want to send us a question, like I thought we could maybe kick it off by reading like the top results on Quora today, just to show you what it might be, what it might be like. This could be you instead of Ethan Johnson, who has a situation about his 17-year-old son that I Should I read this out? We'll
I
pretend
feel like
this
you're
like
doxing
yeah.
somebody right now.
Well, he put it out on the internet.
That
He
is
looks like
true.
he's maybe 50 years old. Oh my god, there's a million content views. Wait, this isn't a question.
Hmm.
Well, you know what? You know what? It's fine. It doesn't have to be a question. Like I said, you can write in anything you'd like. All right, this is his story. It has a million views, but only 5,000 upvotes. So I don't know what's going on there. Quora doesn't get a lot of people,
Yeah.
I guess. But this is his story. Okay, so this is Ethan Johnson. He's an engineer. Oh, this is from back in November, by the way. I was sitting on my couch watching a movie, and my 17-year-old son was in his room sleeping, which is typical at this hour, when suddenly he appeared in the living room looking tired and sat in the recliner to put his shoes on. Naturally, I was curious and asked what he was doing. He said he's going to pick up his friend Leo. I asked him to elaborate, and he said Leo was out drinking at a party and he needed a ride home because he was drunk. This may not seem like a big deal, but to me it means the world because my son has made some bad decisions lately. Wow, okay, throw him under the bus. And my
Hmm.
wife and I have been feeling like we failed as parents.
I feel
Jesus.
like we're reading a Reddit thread.
Yeah, but in the 5 minutes between him coming into the living room and him leaving the house, I saw the young man that I had known the whole time has been in there. This is the proudest I've been of him in a long time, and I just wanted to share this moment with someone. So thank you for taking the time to read it.
Wait.
Well, you're welcome, first of all, Ethan.
Yeah, of course, Ethan. We are sharing with the world your life story.
Yeah. I mean, now I guess we could discuss. This doesn't really seem like I mean, how can we discuss this? I guess we could questionize it ourselves, right?
Yeah,
What could
yeah,
you
yeah.
have done better in your child's life? You seem to have thrown a lot of, you threw yourself and your wife under the bus as failed parents. It's pretty rough.
But then he brings it back immediately after that, though. Is what
Yeah,
confuses me.
yeah, well, what advice would you give to Ethan Johnson about maintaining his his relationship and his pride over his offspring? His son is 17.
Yes. Can you re-summarize the story
Yeah, yeah, they were
for the viewers?
Mr. Johnson and Mrs. Johnson have been feeling they've been feeling let down in their son. Not that they I don't know what he was doing. I mean, I'm imagining he was smoking a lot of weed up in his room,
Drugs.
spitting on his parents every time he came down.
It's not just a feast, Dad.
Yeah, yeah, he had emo. He's full emo. He's got the highlighter, the eyeliner.
Yeah, he's got one of those unmarked vans that he's spray painted.
Yep, he has kidnapped children, but that's okay because
Yeah. He
it
brings
was
it
just
back.
on the way. He was taking him to daycare, but he just
Yeah.
didn't tell anybody.
He actually stole the daycare van, but by that they actually loaned it to him because it was a part of the church program.
Yes, right, exactly. So Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, they were feeling a little bit bad, to the point where they thought they'd failed as parents at 17 years of age. That's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, he was just feeling proud of him because he was going to pick up his friend. Selfless act. He was going to go pick up his friend Leo, who'd been at a party and was drinking and didn't want to drive home because drinking and driving is bad.
It's terrible. That's how a lot of death happens.
So right. So what
I
advice would
mean,
you give to Ethan, to his wife, or maybe to his son? It doesn't actually say what his son's name is, or Leo. We could pick any of these people and impart some of our wise advice to.
if I'm being like completely transparent, I feel like the advice that needs to be given isn't going to be about parenting, but more so about how they view themselves as parents. Because like clearly they did a good enough job for him to do the selfless act to go pick up his friend in a safe manner. He's not out there drinking. His friend's like, "Hey, I don't feel safe or comfortable. Can you come get me?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure. Give me a second." And like they've been feeling like they haven't been doing a good job, but clearly they've been doing something right. Because if they didn't, Leo, the son, I think that's his name, he,
That's the
he might,
friend.
he
Yeah, Leo is the
Leo's
friend.
a friend.
Hmm.
Oh, the son, he would be out there partying with them. He would be like trying to sneak out and do things like that. I mean, hell, the fact that he felt safe and comfortable enough to tell his parents, "Hey, my friend is drunk. I'm gonna go pick him up and bring him home," says a lot.
Especially
Because
being 17, I imagine they're both in
yeah,
high school, so pretty
that is
illegal.
another big thing.
Yeah,
For a 17-year-old to tell you that my friend's been drinking,
true.
like,
Yeah,
that sets up a lot. Because like, my first thought was, does my son also drink with this friend and their friends?
that's
Uh,
true, yeah.
but that's a conversation for a different time.
I mean,
Um
if suspect he's been, smoking the Mary Jane up in his room or something,
mhm.
then maybe the Johnsons are pretty cool. They're pretty cool about drugs, but maybe not
Yeah.
so much about alcohol. Maybe they
Hell,
are.
maybe they are like that family that's like, "Hey, as long as you're drinking with us or, like, at home, I don't really mind." But if you're out
True,
there
yeah.
doing that and doing stupid stuff, that's when it becomes a problem, you know? Because a lot of families are
Yeah.
pretty cool with giving their, child alcohol, because it's like, "Oh, I'm watching them. They're under my supervision."
Yeah, I know in a lot of places, especially, I mean, in Texas, I think you can drink at home from like 15 onwards
Yeah, I'm
with
pretty
like
sure.
parent supervision or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think, more than anything, they need to kind of look more at themselves internally and try to figure out why they feel like they failed as parents. Because obviously they kind of like explained it, but like, what about that makes them failures? Because first it starts off saying like, "Oh, our son is kind of a failure. He didn't like live up to our expectations, whatnot." But now it's like, is it that he didn't live up to your expectations? Or is it that you feel like you didn't raise him a certain way, and because of that, or he turned out a different way than what you expected, and now you feel inadequate as a parent?
I think expectations is the right word there. They didn't actually state, or he didn't actually state, I suppose, that they, being him and his wife, did like what they did wrong, or rather what
Mhm.
his son did that would make him think that. So clearly his expectations are just maybe unreasonably high. Maybe he got that 1B in high school and he's like, my son is dead to me. He will no longer be the doctor.
Oh, no. He's no longer the captain now.
He is not the captain.
But also, like, from what he like, again, it very much seems like they are worried about themselves, like, they're anxious about themselves as parents and not the kid or who the kid is around. Because a lot of parents, they get very anxious about their kid hanging around the wrong crowd, you know?
True. Yeah.
And I feel like in a lot of cases, a lot of parents would feel like the son's hanging around the wrong crowd, clearly, if he's out here getting drunk, and theoretically underage. But that doesn't even seem to be like a focal point at all in that post. So I think it very much is genuinely they feel like they themselves have failed as parents for whatever reason, which we don't know, and it could just be insecurity and anxiety. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's what it must be. I mean, maybe they're just two overthinkers. They overthink things.
Mhm.
I'm sure you could nitpick uh I don't know, any number of things that this child was doing. So, it's good. It's good that
Maybe
he, was a selfless act, but
maybe it's that, because they don't seem like helicopter parents. They don't seem overprotective. So I wonder if they gave him a lot of freedom growing up, and now they're like, maybe we gave him too much freedom, uh, and because of that, maybe we should have been more strict with him or something like that. Because I know, typically you either get the parents that are super nonchalant, or you get the parents that are overprotective. It's
yeah.
very hard to find that balance in between.
I mean, the Johnsons do seem to be that sort of, a stereotypical nuclear family.
Mhm. Well, do they have other kids?
It's a good question. It doesn't seem yeah, yeah, it doesn't seem like it.
'Cause
There's no
I feel
mention
like
made at least.
a lot of parents as well, a lot of them feel that way with their first kid, with the oldest. Because the first one is always the experimental one. That's where they try to figure out the best way to parent them. Uh, and either again, they are too overprotective or they're too lax, and they learn from, I wouldn't say their mistakes, but they learn from that experience and change up how they raise the next kid.
Yeah,
Uh,
just
because
kind
I
of
know
a
for
natural
me,
progression.
It's it's the oldest child curse. Every oldest child always has a lot more expectations put on them, usually a lot more what's it called? A lot more like restrictions on them. The parents are usually tougher on them, and then the next one that comes along, they get babied a lot more.
Right,
Uh,
right.
like my brother, he unfortunately suffers from being the oldest child. And so, like, a lot of the things that were put on him, I didn't have to deal with because, again, he's the first one. They're learning how to parent with the first one. Uh, but with me, my mom was a lot more lax. Uh, but also
You were also a middle child, right?
I was a
Well,
middle child. Yeah.
sort of.
No, no, I was.
You had like a big age gap in between. I mean, I
Yeah,
guess it doesn't matter the age gap, right? Middle
it
child is
was
middle child.
6 years, but like, uh, when my family kind of got split up, with my little sister was 10, so like I had 10 years with her with my mom.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
fair enough. Yeah.
so like I got to be the middle child for real, and that was most of my school life too. And my sister, oh my god. And also, to be fair, she was also the only girl too, so that also factors into it.
Ah, yeah.
Uh, but yeah, she was very much the baby. And you knew that she was the baby because she got away with so much stuff, and she was spoiled. She was spoiled rotten as a little kid. Let me tell you. And as me and my brother were boys, my sister was a girl. We weren't allowed to hit her back, but she would hit the hell out of us.
Wow, just okay.
And then when we
We
finally hit her
haven't had
back,
your
of
sister on,
course,
of course, the person that we had on earlier was a false person.
yeah, no,
No
no, no,
dirt is
no,
being thrown.
completely different person, totally. No, like I love my sister, I love her so much, but yeah, no, she definitely was raised pretty spoiled compared to my older brother, at least. I'd say I was also pretty spoiled too. Actually, I was the youngest for a little while. Um, but yeah, no, my sister got pretty much whatever she wanted for a lot of her early life, at least. And I was like, "What the heck?"
Well, that's
Because
fair
I
too.
also being what 2 years younger than my brother, 2.5. I
Yeah.
also mostly got his hand me downs for a lot of
Oh,
my
yeah,
childhood.
that's just natural. That's
Yeah.
the plight of the younger sibling.
But it wasn't even just him though. I also got hand-me-downs from other family members too. So like a lot of
Oh,
my
yeah, okay.
clothes were too big and too baggy. So like in middle school, I was the kid who would have the jean shorts that went down to my ankles.
Nice. Yeah.
And I thought that was the fashion, let me tell you.
I mean, as long as you rock it, anything is the fashion.
But yeah. But back on
Yeah,
topic.
to tie it home, what was the advice you wanted to give Mr. Ethan Johnson here?
I
I guess
think
he's the one we're
Ethan,
advising.
Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, I think they have to do a lot more introspection and figure out why do they feel like they failed as parents. And if it's do they actually feel like they are inadequate, if they are bad parents, or if it's just their own internal insecurities, and maybe they even are comparing their lives to or their kids' life or their parenting to their own parents' parenting and how they turned out versus how their child is turning out.
I
If that
think
made
that's
any
good.
sense at all.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. Ethan, if you didn't quite understand that, just rewind the segment.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
tweet
yeah.
it at him. We'll tweet it at him. We'll find him. We'll cyber stalk him. Find his Twitter or X or Blue Sky or whatever he's using.
What if he doesn't use social media?
Well, make one for him.
We'll just message him on Quora. We'll DM him.
Yes, I bet I could. Let me click on him here.
Hey Quora, sponsor us.
I can. Oh yeah, I can actually send him a message on here. I guess I could, but
Huh.
we'll handle that after we obviously replug. This could be you, people. This could be you. We could be helping you instead of Ethan Johnson, the cool engineer who has a child who
Mhm,
is
mhm.
also pretty sweet. This could be you. So if
It
you
doesn't
have
have to be questions,
that's
technically, it could be
that's true.
comments, concerns. Hell, if you even wanna leave a review and say that we suck, we'll check it out and we'll talk about it.
Yep, we'll
Uh,
try our best to fix everything that's wrong about ourselves at
yeah, and we'll
your demand.
we'll be completely 100% unbiased.
Yes, we're not in our own court. We haven't been for many years.
Yeah.
But all right, remember, yeah, send those emails to you got it.
lamalajohn@gmail.com.
Yep, LAMBALAJOHN at gmail.com. You send them there, we will check it. I promise we will check it before
We record the next episode.
they go. Yep. We'll try and handle all of them that we can. If we can't get to them, maybe we'll hire
A
like a
third person.
secretary. Huh?
Yeah. Ooh, a secretary. I could
Yeah.
be. Is it a hot secretary? I could be a hot secretary.
Well, they would, yeah, I think by
Wait, hold on.
definition,
I need to
all
find a
secretaries
blouse.
are hot. So we would
I need to
have
find a
to.
blouse. I can unpop like the top couple of buttons, show off my chest a little bit, a little bit of cleavage. You're not gonna see it though. It's gonna be 100% just straight chest hair. But I mean, that's kind of hot, right? And
I mean,
then
yeah,
I
talked
can
about
wear
that.
very
Yeah.
seductive glasses. I only have two, but one of them already falls off my face a little bit, so I'll just have it like sitting at the tip of my nose.
I think that would help, lend you that sort of that stereotypical dumb blonde kind of, if you can't even wear your glasses properly.
Hey, listen, I could get a wig.
I
No one
think you
has to
have
know.
been blonde in the past though, so maybe it's not
I don't
too
want to
far
talk
off.
about that's we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about the frosted tips era.
Oh, I thought you meant when I went fully blonde.
Oh, I thought was it fully? I've
So
only
okay,
seen
okay, hold
photos, I
on.
think.
So, segue. I've dyed my hair several colors over time. I haven't done it in the last since I think my sophomore year of college, actually. So since 2018. But throughout my life, I've bleached and dyed my hair a couple of times.
Uh-huh.
I've dyed it. I've bleached. I had a little mini afro, and I bleached it blonde. Uh, and that was, I think, sophomore year of high school, and that's a picture that still haunts me to this day. Mostly just because I took a terrible picture at a terrible angle, and my brother will just
Yeah,
send
I've
it to me
seen it.
sometimes, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
"Why do you hate me?"
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
and I completely forgot about it because it was in a group chat with me, my brother, and my cousin, and for some reason, I think he brought it up as a threat, and then he just sent it, and I was like, "Why would you do that? That's a time that is forgotten." Um, but I had bleached my hair blonde because I wanted to go blue. And so from there, I dyed my hair blue, and it was a very vibrant, bright blue. But the thing about blue dye, at least for me, it never stays very long. So it very quickly faded into like a green. But then because I was also washing my hair regularly, it went green, and then also the green started going away. So it was like a mix of green and blonde everywhere. So that was kind of cool. I've
It's very
done red
jokery.
before.
I
Yeah,
the picture that I have of you as my contact photo is I think it's red.
it
Kind
sounds.
of pinkish,
What
but that
picture do you
might
have
just
of
be
my?
the lighting.
Send me that. I don't know what picture you have of me. It's been a long time since I dyed my hair, but I've done red. Uh, I've done um, not like a maroon, but like a purplish maroon. I forgot what the color is called. Like a mauve kind of color, I think.
That kind of is what I don't actually know how to send this photo to you. I'm gonna have to take a photo of this tiny photo.
Yeah, just send it to me on Discord. Um, I've done that. I've did purple, but it was like a temporary hair dye kind of situation, so I don't know if that one counts. Green, red. I guess technically I've done orange, but it was mostly just like I dyed the tips and I didn't let it fully dye into a blonde. Uh, Green, blue, yeah. But then I think once I got to college, I mostly just like did the tips. Oh no,
There you
that's like
go.
straight red.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
is this the red era?
Yeah, that's the red era. That was 2018.
Okay, yeah,
That was
that checks out.
when I got suspended from college. Um,
Nice.
and
Is
this
that
is when I was
I've heard that people dye their hair to, or really that's one
in
of
a
the like
crisis when they're having
yes.
a
Yes.
crisis. Yes,
Yeah, you know what?
that's
I
yeah.
think you told me that.
I'm pretty sure I told you that. Yeah. See, whenever I dyed my hair to that extent, by the way, audience, the entire I had got a haircut, I had a fade, and the entire top of my head is red. It's not like just the tips.
Yeah, it kind of stopped
Honestly,
at
I
the
looked
ears
really
though.
good here. This is when I was like really skinny because I worked at Walmart as a stocker and unloader. I unloaded trucks and then stocked the shelves.
Oh, and you got
Um,
like the necklace going on too. I don't even know what that. It's a doubloon you're wearing there.
oh, that was during a very different time of my life. I was dating somebody at that point, and
Ah,
they basically were trying to revamp my entire style. And let me tell you, it did look nice on me, but it wasn't me. They
yeah. I
also they were kind of
never
trying to mold
understood.
me into their perfect idea of a partner.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was
I've never really
probably
understood necklaces. I kind of get bracelets, but you can like never wear a neck. You can't see necklaces like ever.
Yeah, I mean, unless you wear a see, that necklace specifically, that was, like, a gift given to me by them, and that was, like, a symbol like, in my mind, I was like, "Oh, that's a symbol of our relationship, so I'm gonna wear it wherever I go."
Makes sense. Yeah, that's very
Uh,
touching.
ye
Ugh, gag.
Octo uh,
Ugh.
but no, they also had me, like, wearing a silver chain and, like, a long sleeve black or, like, a black turtleneck. Like, you would never see
A
me in anything like
black
that this
turtle.
day. Like, it
You're
was
turning
really
into a
giving The
James
Rock
Bond.
it was giving The Rock in the
Oh, yeah,
90s
yeah, yeah, I could see
even.
that.
And again, it looked nice, but it wasn't me. I don't
Yeah.
wear stuff like that. I very super casual. I don't color scheme very often. I don't I mix match patterns quite often, but that's not the point of what we're talking about. Um, yeah, so the thing about me, when I used to dye my hair to that extent, it was very much I was going through some kind of crisis, and it was like a lot of people will end up doing that because it's some kind of semblance of having control in your life. Uh,
Sure, sure.
and so, because you're like, oh, I'm changing my hair color, or I'm changing my hair, so I'm cutting off all my hair, type stuff. Because you're like, okay, I can control what my hair looks like, so I'm gonna change it because I have that ability to.
Yeah, that
Uh,
checks out.
yeah, it's not a very healthy mindset to be in, but when you're going through a crisis, it's like this is the only thing I can really do. That's like, oh, I have control in my life.
I
Which
imagine it's
is
symbologically, if that's a word,
I don't know if
powerful,
that's a
you
word.
know?
No, very
Well,
much.
because like, whenever
I
you
guess it
look
would
in
be
the mirror, if you
symbolically,
go yeah, wait, what did I say?
symbologically.
No,
I don't think that's a
I like
word.
symbologically. It's a mix of
Uh,
symbology and logically. It's
Symbology? I don't think it's a word.
symbologically.
Got it.
No,
W
symbologically?
Welcome to Lame John, where we create new new vocabulary.
Definitely a real word. If not, it is now, and we're gonna be working
Uh-huh.
on getting it in the dictionary. It's one of my goals for
Yeah.
2025.
2025.
2025. Yeah, yeah, you just look at yourself in the mirror and you go, "My hair is, in this case, red. That means new me. I am no
Yeah.
longer
I mean,
whatever I was."
it also is symbolic
Yeah,
I
you
don't
got
remember
it.
what you said.
Symbologically.
Symbologically, uh a thing to like notate change as well, because that's why I would do it mostly outside of the crisis. It'd be like, oh, I'm gonna do something drastic to symbolize that there's been a shift in my life, there's been a big change. And a lot of it was
Yeah.
just like I moved, or like I graduated, I just got went through a breakup, things like that. And it was in my mind, it was like, well, this symbologically says that I'm going through a different portion of my life now. I think
Yeah.
that's, like, why a lot of like, in media, I guess, like, in movies where you have, like, female characters especially, how they have, like, long hair, and they're, like, going through, like, a mental breakdown, and they just chop it all off.
Yeah. I think the male equivalent of that is going from like short hair to bald, and then you just
Yeah,
get a bunch of
get that buzz
weapons.
cut.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Not weapons. Yeah. I mean, I think it might be just, you also get, like, a Mini Coupe and or a convertible, even though you don't have the money to pay it off because 'cause you're
Right.
going through a midlife crisis.
Yeah, you go to Europe, you rent a Ferrari just for the weekend, and then you keep it. They never catch you because, I mean, you're in a Ferrari. The only thing that could catch that is like an F-15 or something.
Yeah. See, it's not stealing if you don't get caught.
Exactly. That's the Thelma and Louise style of borrowing.
Exactly. This is not legal advice, by the way. You know what? That's gonna be another segment later. Or John talks to Liam legal advice.
Just legal advice. I
Ah!
shot my neighbor over my fence line. He's suing me. What do I do? Am I in the wrong?
Well, when you
That
say over the fence line,
what
is
was
it
the
on your
caliber?
side or their side?
It was their side. They were moving it back. I didn't want all that extra space.
They're moving it back, but it was on my side of the land. Oh, then you're perfectly fine. That's self-defense. Will
I
that hold up in a
shot
court
him
of
from
law?
my side of the fence, if
He was
that
actually in the
helps.
house with his wife and kids.
I had a sniper
um,
rifle, but I heard that if you take a shot from the sidewalk, it's technically, it doesn't break privacy rules.
yeah, that's still attempted homicide. So,
Okay, so
That's the
the
least of your
advice is
problems.
you should go on the run, basically, is what I'm
Yeah.
hearing.
Change your name, put all your money in an offshore account, get
Change
the
your
hell out
hair
of
to red.
Dodge. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How are they gonna find you if your hair's red and you're originally
Yeah,
brunette?
they're gonna look at the photo, then look at the other photo, and they'll go, "Well, this isn't him. His hair's red."
Whenever they do the police lineup, make sure you have your contacts in that are different colored eyes, because then they can't ID you as who you used to be anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Weirdly, this is like a tie-in of 2 of the last points that we have, because personally, I've never dyed my hair,
Yeah.
but my older brother has. So he
Hmm.
only dyed it to black from I think he's yeah, brown, just regular brown hair pretty much. But
Yeah.
he's dyed it to black, right? Real trendsetter. Didn't last very long. And I think he was doing it because the girl he was into at the time was I think she had black hair maybe. I don't know. I don't know the
I
reasoning.
chimed in with haven't you people ever
Yes.
heard
This would have
of?
been like 10 years ago as well. And I don't think he's done to my knowledge, I don't think he's dyed it since.
Mm.
But, right, real trailblazing moment that, I could very easily I don't know what if I was to change my hair color, I don't know what I would change it to. But the only thing that's really stopping me from doing it is that I don't wanna damage my hair, and I feel like I would do that almost immediately if I tried
Probably if
to
you do
dye
it
it.
like on your own,
Yeah.
especially for the first time. Also, speaking of hair and you, I didn't know you had long hair. So when we were trying to figure some stuff out last recording, and you turned on the you turned on the camera, I was like, oh wow, I've never seen him with long hair before.
I mean, I remember the last time that I think I was up there, I think you were like, "I've never seen you with long hair." And I was like,
And that was like down
"Brother,
to your
you haven't even
shoulders, even.
seen me with long hair yet."
Yeah, I think that was maybe down to your shoulders. Like I was like, oh, he hasn't had a haircut in a couple months, and that was really
Yep.
what
Yep.
it was then. Now his hair's like halfway down his back.
I don't know about that. It's definitely to like my shoulder blades area, but that's only because it might have been before. It might have been before, but I got it cut. Well, I take that back. I didn't get it cut. I cut it myself because I'm an OG money grubbing. I'm a I'm cool. I
Yeah.
cut my own
So
hair
pretty
now.
much he would fit in like the 70s.
I have been compared to an 80s British rock band.
Yeah, I mean the three of you guys together, it makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least my brothers, their hairstyle is like the same. It's just long across the board. But I didn't want to go long across the board
Mhm.
just because I don't like I'm trying to learn more about fashion and style and just,
Have you put your hair into a bun yet?
it's wow, yes, it's what's currently in like a half ponytail right now, basically.
He's got a man bun, y'all. He's finna get
It's
all the
not a
ladies.
man bun.
Are you embarrassed about having a man bun, John?
If it was a man bun, I think that would require it to be higher up and shorter.
That's fair. I
This is like
guess.
I'm talking full on. Hold on.
Mind you, audience, we never have the cameras on, so this is all speculation right now.
It's probably like a foot of hair in
That's
the
a lot of hair.
in the ponytail itself.
That's a lot of hair. I can't
But
really
then it's sort of like a mullet. Maybe the best. I mean, I guess I could just take a photo. But the
a
best way I could
mullet.
describe it.
Oh no, y'all.
Um.
He's succumbed to his white side. It's funny
Oh
because he's all
man.
100% white. So, are you
These.
good?
It's close. This is not quite accurate.
To a mullet or a bun? A man bun.
I think it's a combination.
A
Technically,
combination?
I think the closest style that I would approximate my haircut to is a wolf cut mullet.
The hell is a wolf?
I
Hold on.
think that's the closest thing that I could
Wolf
imagine to
cut
that.
mullet.
It's
This is
sort of
very like shaggy hair.
yes. I mean, naturally, yeah. Okay, see, I kind of based on my research, right? Based on my research and the fact that I don't like to spend a lot of time on like my hair, never
Hmm.
have in my entire life. So I decided to go with something that would um work with what my hair naturally does, right? I
Yeah.
have very poofy hair that kind of just does whatever it wants. And in order for me to make it work, I would have to use a lot of product. and I'm not really interested in doing all that, at least at this stage. Maybe I'll get more into that as time progresses. But I was like,
Oh, I see, I
people
see.
naturally, when they have these kind of hairstyles, they spend a lot of time blowing it out, right? They get like a little
Mhm.
hair dryer and they do their thing. I don't need to do that. My hair naturally does that because of the way it is.
Yeah.
So I picked a style that would naturally have that as a plus. That way I can't go, well, I don't like it. I go, that's the style. That's what it is. I don't have a choice in the matter.
Okay. So when you say a wolf cut mullet, because when I think of mullet, I think of like short on the top, sides have been like shaved or like super short, and then the back is just extremely long. Is it like that, or is it just more like that wolf cut? Because apparently those are two different cuts. But it's
Yeah,
like,
I mean, maybe the wolf
do
cut
you
is
have
the more.
bangs?
I do have bangs. It's short in
Oh,
the front,
not
medium
the
on the side, and
bang.
long in the back. This is maybe the closest picture I could guesstimate, maybe. Uh, let me. Oh my god, I just opened a whole nother app. Go away,
Oh
go away.
no.
This is maybe the closest I would estimate. Now, for our poor audio listeners, it's
Hmm.
very similar, right? Short in the front, long in the back, but then the sides are kind of medium, just because
Hmm.
that's naturally what my hair does.
Yeah. Okay, I see, I see, I see. See, I don't have long hair. I guess this is the longest it's gotten in a while, actually.
Right.
But for me, I've got curly hair because I'm black. Um, I I know that sounds like it doesn't relate, but trust me, it does. No. I got curly hair, but like tight curls. It's not like four. I think it's more like three. Hold on, because I don't have like loose curls, but I don't have like really tight curls like 4C hair or anything either. Um,
4C?
yeah. So
Oh, are you talking about the yeah, please continue.
yeah, so for curly hair, or I guess really just hair in general, they like categorize it based on like how coily it gets. And so like
Right.
4C
Yeah.
hair is like when you have those really small tight curls that like are a hassle to even try to like get a comb through. Like it gets stuck almost immediately type shit.
Mhm. Yeah.
But mine isn't that to that extent at all. Well, not at all, but mine isn't to that point. Um but yeah, I've got very curly hair. If I were to grow it out, it could become an afro eventually. But I haven't let my hair grow out that long since middle school because I didn't really like myself with short hair or with long hair. Sorry. And
Sure.
so because of that, I would always cut my hair every like 6 months or so, and then I just get cut real short. But then also because my hair is thinning on the top, and so I get really insecure about it and I get real sad about it. So I'm like, if I just cut it short, I won't even think about it.
I guess
Um,
that's fair. And you could always get I guess medical intervention is probably the not the
do you have
go-to.
medical intervention money? Because I don't.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like that's one of the reasons why I decided to just go with longer hair. I mean, I had longer hair when I was younger. Like I'm talking pre-high school. But when I got to high
Mhm.
school, lopped it all off. A, because tropical climate and it was just exhausting.
Yeah, that's
Uh
fair.
B, because I was just like, yeah, that was my new era, right? Rather than it's nice to be able to see different colors, you know? You saw that picture and instantly went, "Oh, that was 2018." Like if
Yeah,
I saw a photo of I would know like, okay, that was me when I was how old are you when you go into high school? Like 12? I guess
14.
14.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like that would be me sub 14. The short hair would be me like 14 to 25, right? Somewhere in that range.
Mhm.
Then 25 onwards, I guess it was maybe 20, maybe 24 onwards. I forget the exact time I started growing it, but then it was like, all right, well, we're done getting it cut every. How often did we go when we went? It's like every 2 months, maybe.
Yeah, pretty frequently.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that anymore because A, I have to cut it far less because I'm just growing it out. B, because I feel confident in cutting it myself.
Mhm.
Weirdly, I definitely screwed it up. I don't know if you've ever cut your own hair before, but
Oh, boy. I could show you a picture when I very first cut my hair.
oh,
It
are
was
you
6th grade.
pretty skilled at cutting your own hair? Uh-huh. Yeah,
No.
that's about what I would that's my experience right
Listen,
now.
I feel like, unfortunately, It's, it was a lot worse on my end than you could possibly imagine. I was in 6th
How?
grade and I really wanted a haircut, and my mom was like, "No, we're not gonna get you a haircut." But we had clippers. And I was like,
Oh,
"Okay, well, I'm just gonna cut my own hair then." And, like, so you know how when, like, you're doing something and in your mind you're like, "I know how to do this," like, it's very practical, very easy to do type stuff,
sure,
right?
yeah.
That's how I was about it. And let's just say I was trying to give myself a fade, which I had never even really
Oh,
picked up,
that
clippers
seems
prior to
advanced.
this. Yeah,
Without
yeah, yeah.
without real knowledge of what it takes to do that, it already seems advanced. It's not
Yeah.
one layer across the board, right?
No, no,
That's
it's
like a
not.
3, 2, 1, or I guess
Mhm.
inverted.
And mind you, 6th grade.
Yeah.
So ended up messing up, and I just said, "Screw it, we're just gonna cut it off." Oh, no, that's what it was. Clippers, they come with guards. And so I was like, "Well, I just wanna cut my hair short," and, uh, at first I was, again, gonna try to do the fade, but then I was like, "You know what? Let me just try to cut it short, and then it'll be fine." I didn't know what the guards were used for,
Oh gosh.
and so I just had the bare clippers, and I started cutting my hair. And for those who don't know, clippers without a guard is damn near a shave.
So
Like,
so
your hair is
you were
cut
basically like the
very
epitome of
tiny.
the, "Oh, we messed up. We gotta go bald" meme.
Yeah, and so that's
Oh,
what
man.
happened. But the worst part about it is because, you can't see the back of your head.
Right?
I
Yeah,
just
you got a
had
set of 2 mirrors.
patches
Oh
in
gosh.
the back of my head of hair. It wasn't like big like a long hair or anything, but it's very much, "Oh, he missed several spots over here."
Uh-huh.
And I can't I believe my mom was like, "What the heck? Come here." And she, like, evened it out, thankfully.
Oh, okay.
And so that was that. And then at the end of 8th grade, I was like, "You know what? I really like the mohawk hairstyle. I'm gonna give myself a mohawk."
Hmm.
Um, so
I
fun
always thought mohawk was kind of based on you just use gel, but I guess you have to have kinda long in the middle and then short on the
yeah,
sides?
for sure. And for, like, black people, it's very prominent to shave off or cut most of the other areas short, and then
Mhm.
leave like a strip down the middle as like a higher point. And
Oh,
having
sure,
curly
like the
hair,
Mr. T hair. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, 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 that's what I was going for.
Okay, sure.
Because I thought that was like the coolest hairstyle. I was obsessed with mohawks and faux hawks at the
I
time,
mean, it is a cool hairstyle. I give you that, yeah.
so I went for it. Um, and fun fact: if you're gonna cut your hair, you need to learn the layout of your own head.
Right.
Because I I ended up because I didn't wanna do all the way down the back. I just wanted it to be, like, the top and, like, that part in the back kind of where, like, the spiral starts, right around
Okay.
that
Oh,
area,
sure. Wow, that okay, yeah.
and, like, have it stop there. Unfortunately, I miscalculated where that spot actually started, and so and then it turned into just, like, the top of my head, and then I miscalculated how far forward I went, and so the all of
Oh,
my head
boy.
was pretty much shaved, and there was just a small patch of hair, and when I say small, I mean my hair was already short to begin with, and so there was a patch of hair that went about 3 inches back, just on the top of my head, that I did for 8th grade graduation.
That sounds insane. You
Oh, yeah,
did anybody fix this, or did you show up
no.
with that?
No, nobody fixed it. I just had to live with it, or I'd
That's
have to go bald, and I didn't wanna go bald, so
yeah.
I said, "You know what? We're just gonna rock with it." It was uneven as hell too, and my friends made fun of me and said I was called me the Avatar.
But
Uh,
like Aang?
like, yeah, Avatar Aang, like an
Okay.
airbender,
Yeah,
an
okay,
air
that's
nomad
it's
because of the
fair.
tattoo, and because they all thought I was trying to do that,
Oh, I see, I see.
and when I explained what I was trying to do, they laughed even harder,
Yep.
because they're haters. But I think from there, the only other time I really tried to cut my hair in high school was I had got a haircut, and it was I think right before one of the school years started, and like I looked nice. But I was mad because she was supposed to give me a fade, and the hair didn't fade at all. It just kind of, you saw a very visible, like, oh, this is where they stop cutting line.
Oh, yeah.
And it made me mad, so I tried to do the fade myself, and I ended up having to go nearly bald again. because I
So this
cut
has
too
happened,
far
like,
into it.
multiple times, and
In
you
my life,
just
yes. I
haven't.
guess also, an honorable mention, it wasn't my hair, but it was my beard. Because 'cause I've had a
Oh,
beard
okay.
since I was 16, like a full like, my cheeks covered in hair beard since I was 16.
Nice.
Uh, and so I think it was the day before sophomore year of high school started. Um, I had just got my hair done. I look real nice. I look like Rick Ross because my beard was really long. And so I was like, because I wanted her to like shape up my beard too, but she didn't because that was going to cost extra money.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I'll just do it at home. So remember when I said you should know how your face, like the layout of your head? The
Sure.
same goes for your face if you have facial hair. So I went to shape up my beard, and instead of like just doing like light strokes and like trying to inch away at it, I just went and pretty much went took out all the hair from like right under my eyelid or like right under
What?
my eye down to my chin in one area.
You
And
know,
I
that
got
could be a stylistic choice if you just have
no,
a
it could have been.
chunk.
I didn't want it to be though, and I was pissed off. So I cut off pretty much all my hair, and that's when I started rocking the goatee.
I see. Yeah, you could have done like a,
I could
sort
have done
of.
like a pencil beard, I think is what it's called.
I mean, or cut 2 more strips in there. That way, it looks like a bear, like smacked you in the face with his claw.
See, the only problem with that is it wasn't like a thin line; it was the length of the clippers.
Oh yeah, that'd be a little harder to explain.
Yeah, and so that's when I went for the goatee for that year, and I said, you know what? All right, we'll just stick with this for now, and we're just not gonna try to mess with it anymore.
That's fair. Do you feel more? I mean, was that the last time? Do you feel more confident now to cut your own hair and
I've done it
beard?
in college. But anytime I've really done it, I've just got like a guard and I just the entirety of my head just cut it all in that guard. I didn't try to like do anything special with it because I was like, I'm not gonna mess this up again in college as a grown ass man.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm gonna just cut it all to the same length and it'll be fine. And that's what I did. I did mess up my beard a couple times. No, I didn't. No. The times I had to shave was because of acting things.
Oh, sure.
Like, remember that one summer we did, Elapsed?
Yeah. 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 You shaved
Yeah.
for that? Okay. Okay. I kind of do remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't like a full shave, but it was like I trimmed most of my beard to the point to where it was like almost like a 5 o'clock shadow.
That's right. Yeah.
Probably a good thing too, because it was hot as hell out there.
Yeah. That's
I s
that's one of the benefits of having long
hair?
hair, I've discovered,
Mhm.
is you can be warmer in the wintertime, then you have to put it up in the summer because it's unbearable.
Oh,
But,
absolutely.
that's just how it goes.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
Yep. I
Yeah.
having cut my hair one time, I definitely messed up, it's definitely uneven, I can
Mhm.
tell, but luckily there's enough of it there that I it's very difficult to tell unless I have it all, like, laid out flat.
Mhm.
So hopefully, now all I really need to do is unless I wanna change up the hairstyle again at some point, all I gotta do now is randomly I will just take my little scissors, and if there's ever hair that has grown, I just chop it back from my face,
Mhm.
It's very easy. It's like minor maintenance now, which is so much nicer than having to I don't know, I feel like I don't like going into the hair people, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
The salon barber people, whatever their official name is, I don't even know. It's like I can save so much money doing it that way.
The
D
barbers?
Sure, yeah. It seems like one of the skills that you should learn how to do. Like cutting hair, even your own hair, other people's hair. Oh man, I don't know if I would feel comfortable cutting someone else's just because I know what I did with mine, and,
Mhm. No, I 100% get that. Trust me.
has anyone ever asked you to cut their hair before?
No, I've asked people if they want me to cut their hair, and they'd say no.
Why would you ask them that? That seems so rude.
Yeah.
"Hey, bruv, looking pretty good over there. You wanna cut your hair? I'll cut it
They'd be
for
like, "Oh
you."
yeah,
Like, "What do you mean?"
my hair's getting pretty long." I'm like, "I can cut your hair if you want." They're like, "No."
Oh, oh. Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what? You know what? You at that point, to all those people out there, say yes. Say yes. What's gonna happen? Huh?
I'll ruin
Are
it.
you so concerned about what other people think about you that you would not give this poor person experience in
Mhm,
cutting other
mhm,
people's hair? You might have taken away his career. You know that?
mhm.
It's all on you, people. It's your
Yeah,
fault.
yeah,
He
stinky.
could have been a hairstylist. Now look
Yeah,
at you.
you ruined my dreams.
Could have had cool hair. Now
Yeah. I
now
coulda dyed it, I coulda
you
cut
could have,
it, I
yeah?
coulda did everything.
He's like a pro. He's already done half of it.
Yeah,
Or he's done
yeah.
like all of it, really. I guess
Yeah!
aside from having long hair, that's the
And
only
I'm
thing
an
you still need
actor,
to
so
do.
I can very much act like a professional.
Boom. There you go. Yeah, you just act. You pretend like you're a hairstylist, a
Mhm.
hairdresser. Wait,
Think
yeah,
I
that
guess that
seems
would be
about
a
right.
hairdresser,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
Hair's
Hmm.
weird. I'm not. I don't know the ins and outs of taking care of it yet, but year 4. Oh my God! Speaking of year 4, wait, yeah,
Mhm.
this is year 4, right?
Yeah,
Of Project Become Awesome.
correct.
It's it's a weird year because I think I'm hesitant to say this now, but this is the last year that I get to do this.
Mhm.
Like, in case anybody hasn't tuned in, for the last 3-ish years, I have been on a slow weight loss journey, as they call it in the online and everywhere spaces for whatever reason. And I think this year I'm going to hit my goal. Assuming, obviously I don't injure myself or burn out or whatever. I
Yeah.
haven't for the past couple of years. But the reason that I think this is my last year is because I've lost consistently 50 pounds a year for the past 3 years, give or take.
Mhm.
I do not have, but yes, I'm currently at like 120 overall, right? Theoretically, this year, I can lose I don't think I have another 50 pounds to lose,
Yeah.
which means the finish line is over there, somewhere in the distance still, but it's over there, and I can actually see it now, which is I don't know, I am if I feel nervous again. Because
Mhm.
just like at the beginning where I was like, "Well, this is a really big lifestyle change. I don't know what I'm doing." I'm about to hit that wall again where it's like, "This is another big lifestyle change. I don't know what I'm doing." I legitimately have looked up stuff that's like, "Hey, what do you do after being on like a 4-year reorganizational calorie deficit?
Mhm.
How do you, step off of that bandwagon and then go about the rest of your life normally?" I know how to do things the way that I do things now. In 5 months, or I guess July is theoretically when I'll be done, or June, somewhere in that range.
Okay. Not too bad, not too bad.
Not too bad, right? Assuming I make it to that and don't have another, I mean, I might have to take a pause in the middle, so it might be closer to the end of the year by the time I'm really done.
Mhm.
But regardless, at some point this year, I'm gonna go down to like 160 basically. Assuming that's where my stopping point is, it might be higher than that. Theoretically, it might be lower than that based on what my mom has told me about my body size as a baby compared
Uh-huh.
to my brother's body size. There's a very real possibility that I can surpass. I've never liked to use my brothers as a comparison, as a rivalry point, because
Yeah.
I just don't like that mindset, I guess. But I have I have passed my younger brother. I am now in the middle range. I'm in the middle of the pack with
Oh.
only like my older cousin, who is sort of basically like a fourth sibling. Like I grew up with him,
Mhm.
who is I think 15 or less pounds below me, and then my older brother, who is close. I don't know where he's at. I haven't asked him his weight. I probably should, just so I have an indication. I can more accurately judge mine, right?
Mhm,
But
mhm, mhm.
theoretically, based on my mom going, "Well, as a baby, your body, my body, was smaller than Jacob's body," right?
Okay.
So if our bo if assuming I haven't grown over the years to be more burly than him, I can
Mm-mm.
theoretically have a lower, like, weight point across my body just because less bone mass and less muscle mass than him in general, right?
Yeah,
So I don't know. I have to see as I get closer, I feel like I still have some chub to lose for sure.
possibly. I mean, how much do you think you have left to lose?
I'm estimating probably, oh man, I would say 30 pounds
Okay.
of just mainly just fat. But I also don't want to dip below like, 14% body fat, which
Mhm.
because I think that would be entering like the unhealthy range. But
Yeah.
I need to see where I'm at closer because
Mhm.
right now I'm somewhere around 25%, which is in the acceptable. I've entered the acceptable range,
Oh, yeah.
but that's still, the top of the acceptable range and not the healthy range. So I still have more fat to lose.
Mhm.
Then once I get down into the healthy range, then it's like, well, where do I want to fall on the scale? How do I compensate with like, increasing muscle? I don't know.
Yeah.
That these are the questions that I'm having to ask myself going, well, the end of this process is coming up.
Mhm.
It's no longer the quote unquote simple version of I'm just losing weight. Now it's
Now you're
I'm
trying to
losing,
build up muscle.
yeah, it's like I'm entering this phase where it's like now I have to decide as I've gotten closer, I this is like the can that I've kicked down the road for 4 years. I've
Yeah.
been going, "Well, I'll figure it out when I get there. I'll figure it out when I get there."
And now
Last
you're
year,
getting
I'll
there.
figure it out when I get there. Now I'm like, "Oh my god, it's right there. It's over
Yeah.
there. Oh, what do I do? Oh
S
god, I can't kick the can down the road anymore."
so,
So
like,
I got to figure this out now. I haven't decided. I haven't figured it out. Yeah.
I know so obviously the original goal of this was to lose weight and then bulk up afterwards. Or maybe not bulk up, but then to gain muscle afterwards, right?
You can kind of do it both. I wasn't
Mhm.
super concerned about gaining muscle because
Until recently.
being the amount of, weight that I was, I
Mhm.
already was jacked in
Yeah.
comparison to a lot of people, right? Like I still am, at least
Have
in the
you
lower half of my
lost
body,
Oh, yeah.
but like the upper half I still feel like I always feel like I need to work more on. Just based on
Yeah.
that benchmark that you and I did.
Yeah. Because was it my upper half? Yeah, my upper half was, stronger than yours
Yep.
overall, or at
Yep.
least in, comparison. But,
Yeah.
what was I gonna say? So I know with the weight loss side of it, obviously we had a goal weight and all that jazz. Do you have a goal weight for when you start building more muscle, or is it just going to be more so you're just trying to build muscle and see where that goes?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you a specific number,
Okay.
mainly because I I feel like as long as I maintain the muscle mass that I have now,
Hmm.
it'll be good, right? So, but I don't know how much that is in comparison to. Yeah, I theoretically know how much fat is on me because Uh, I've been watching like my stomach change, like my arm gets smaller or my leg gets smaller, and
Yeah.
going like, well, okay, I know how much there was before because you can kind of when you pinch your skin, that's one of the ways you can kind of test, especially on like the looser areas, or rather the part where there's more fat storage.
Yeah.
So I can kind of go like, well, I don't think my wrist is going to go down anymore, but my
So that's just straight bone
forearm.
at that point.
Yeah, exactly. At a certain point, that loses all the fat there. And I'm pretty sure that's done, right? But
Yeah.
then if I look at something like the widest part of my forearm, there's some skin that I can grab there, or
The
uh
whitest or whitest? Because I mean, both are
widest.
true.
Both. I mean, to be fair, the underside of my arm, I could blind somebody with. I could flashbang them.
If that's that bad, don't ever pull up your shorts again, because
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
traumatic.
No intention of doing anything like that. Yeah, it's just kind of I can pinch various parts of me and go like, well, I can't pinch this. There's nothing. there. But there
Mm.
is something, on like my arms, like my little Oprah arms. I got,
The good old bat wings.
yeah, the wide part of my forearm or the wide part of my thigh or my
Ooh,
midsection, right?
I
There's
think
all these
I've
different spaces where there is definitely still, I think, 20 to 30 pounds of fat that can be lost and I will still be in a much healthier way than I would be
mhm.
if I went too low or too high. So it's
Well, is
still
it
kind of a
fat?
getting closer. Hmm?
Sorry. Is it fat or is it more so like loose skin?
I think it's fat. If it was loose skin, I think there'd be less uh
Retention.
flub to it. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's fair. I
Like
guess that.
if it was just skin, I could
Mhm,
probably have like if I wore really compressive clothing, it would
mhm.
be flat, right?
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
There's still like stuff there. But,
With
I have, achieved, like, the lowest, pants apparently in my entire family.
oh, hell yeah. What size do you wear?
Well, okay,
If I can ask that.
this is the crazy part, right? I was, like, a 44 at my widest, which
Mhm.
is crazy because I now have 40. There's, like, pictures of Jarrett the Subway guy where
Yeah,
he's
showing
like
his old stuff?
yeah, yeah. I could literally do that with, like, my old clothing. Then I was stuck kind of at the 34 range for a little while.
Mhm.
Now I think I'm a 32, but the
Nice.
clothing that I have, I just got some new stuff because I'm, you know, gonna grow into it at this point,
Yeah.
shrink into it, whatever the term is, right? But the clothing that I have now is a 30 or a 31, according
Mm.
to the weird sizing chart.
Yeah, no, that's a weird one. It's usually always even numbers,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I think
interesting.
it was oh gosh, shout out to Gap. I think it was Gap that I got them from because I
Mhm,
had the jeans that I have been wearing for a really long time that were 34s that were Gap, and they're like my all-time favorite pants. So I was
mhm,
like, I just need to get some more of these. And of course, they don't sell that kind, but I did get another kind. They're like,
mhm.
yeah, these are like 30 31s. It's like, I don't know what that
Uh,
means, but based on
that's
my
weird.
size
That's a
and,
lot.
based on measuring myself with that paper tape or whatever that thing's called,
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. So I'm
Funnily
very excited.
enough,
Hmm.
my waist size is also 32.
A 32, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you've also got about what 8 inches less,
that
just
is
in
also fair.
general.
But also, as you've been talking about this, I've been like looking over myself and like for the last, what is it, 2025 now? For the last, what, 6 or 7 years,
Hmm.
I've been teetering around the same weight. My body has shifted drastically every time, but I've still been that same weight. I've been around between 230 and 250 for the last like 6 years.
Okay, sure, yeah.
But I look different every year in terms of like the way that my body looks and like the distribution of like muscle and fat. And so it really confuses me because there will be days where I'm like, I look so fat, I feel so huge, and I'll step on the scale and I'm still in that same range. But then there will
Ah,
be
yeah.
days like in the past where I've clearly lost weight. And
Yeah?
like I look skinnier than I normally do. Like the clothes I'm wearing feel a lot bigger than before, and I'll step on that scale and I'm still that same weight. And
Interesting.
like
Yeah?
right now, I feel like I'm the biggest I've ever been. Granted, I feel like that almost any point in my life when I look at it.
Oh,
Um,
sure, get that body dysmorphia, hell
yeah, it's
yeah.
really bad. It's really bad. We can talk about that another time. But like, because I'm looking over myself, and like the biggest I've ever been in terms of like body fat was my sophomore year of high school, and I
Mhm.
only remember that specifically because it was the year I got my wisdom teeth taken out, and my nana had taken a picture of me as I had went under. Uh, and I've never looked as huge as I did then. Like quite
Amazing.
literally, my thighs right now, it would take about three of my hands to wrap my hands around my thighs.
Okay,
But
sure, sure.
then, I swear to God, my thighs were almost twice the size. Maybe
Wow.
maybe not as big as twice, almost twice the size, but they were significantly huge
Yeah,
compared to now.
the, like,
Um,
linebacker build.
yeah, and like right now, my arms, I've got a little bit of fat on them. I think I see what you mean by like you can tell that it's got a lot of chub in it instead of just being like loose skin.
Mhm.
But like at the same time, Though my arms, I don't look like I have muscle in my arms anymore. Like, the muscle definition is gone. Obviously, I still have muscle, but, like, a lot of the fat has distributed into my midsection now, or at least
Oh,
it feels
okay,
that
yeah.
way. Like, my stomach and my chest feel bigger than they have in a long time.
Hmm,
Um, but if I look okay, so for my thighs, it was 10th grade, but for my stomach and, like, seeing the overhang was 2022 Halloween, I think, and I
okay.
had wore, that's when I wore my steampunk costume that I had made, and I had got a picture taken, and or no, I took a picture of myself in the mirror, and the amount of overhang from my stomach was dramatic and borderline terrifying to see.
Sure.
'Cause I was like, I was that big before, like, actually?
Yeah.
And, like, if I compare it to now, like, I've still got overhang, obviously, I'm fat, but, like, my stomach isn't as big as it was then, and even now, there's clothes that I can fit now a lot more comfortably and less snug than a
Hmm.
couple years ago, and it's like, "Bro, I'm so confused because like, I don't work out. I just go to work, which is kind of physically demanding a little bit,
Yeah,
not as
yeah.
much as, like, my former jobs, but I eat very unhealthily. Imma be straight up. I don't drink enough water. I don't
Uh-huh,
get enough
sure.
sleep. I'm not good to my body. I'm trying to do better slowly, one step at a time type shit.
Sure,
Um,
yeah.
but, like, it's so strange. The body is so strange because with the my habits that I have right now, I would think that I should be the biggest right now than I have ever been. But in reality, I'm not. It was the times where I think really when I was really depressed is when I really got the biggest.
Oh,
Uh,
sure.
but to be fair, now I think about it, that was a time where I wasn't going to work because of COVID, because I didn't have a job. I was in school. I kind of just stayed at home most of the time or hung out with you. We would go out to eat pretty much every day whenever we hung
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
So like looking back at it, I think those habits were definitely a lot worse because I wasn't active at all back then.
Yeah, same.
Uh,
That was
s-
there was 100% a reason why, like, they say when you get to college, right, there's, like, the freshman 15 or whatever.
oh yeah, I got
Some
like the
of us, we
freshman
didn't
30.
stop at 15.
Yeah.
We went, "How much food am I allowed to eat? Oh,
Oh, absolutely.
unlimited?
Oh, what
Well,
do you,
let's do it."
I can. This is basically free after I pay for this one fee. Gotcha.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
It's pretty
definitely took
magic.
it for granted.
I miss those times. They were the best of times.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I really could be very healthy and like active if I really wanted to. I'm
Mhm,
just lazy. And like you're not the only person I know in the recent years that's like been trying to get healthy and more active and whatnot.
mhm.
I've had several people ask me to come work out with them, and I'm like, oh, I'll think about it, and then I don't because I don't want to. Not that I don't want to work out, because let me tell you, I do. When we were working out, that was fun. That was fun. It was fun as shit. But
Sure,
I
yeah.
just don't want to do it because I'm lazy.
I
Uh,
mean, I can tell you that I do not go to the gym. I don't
yeah,
work out really that much. I have a treadmill that I get on like 30 to 45 minutes a day, and then I have dumbbells that I use
mhm,
every other day for like 15, 30 minutes.
yeah.
So I'm really doing like the absolute bare minimum. I think the term might be lazy fitness. I don't know if that's the right term, but that's what I'm coining it as.
That's probably what it is.
I mean,
Yeah,
90%. I think it's like 80% of weight loss and weight management is all diet. So
yeah.
like as especially with you walking like 12,000 steps a day or whatever, which is crazy. I do like
It's
6,500.
decreased a lot more. I'll be honest, since we've gotten on top of everything.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely. I walk a lot, and I have a bike that was given to me by one of my coworkers, and I
Hmm.
want to ride it, and I was gonna ride it yesterday because I had to go to work for something, but then I realized the tire's flat,
Oh, yeah.
so I can't right now. So I got to get that give that some air and see if the tire's good or not.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
excuse me.
I mean,
But
as long as
yeah,
you're, like, in a calorie deficit, it sucks, and, having been there for 3 years and going into 4 now, I yeah, it never gets easier, but it definitely gets like you just kind of learn how to cope.
Yeah, I can't say that I am. I'm no, I'm not. I'm not in a calorie deficit. I'm gonna be straight up with you. I'm absolutely not in a calorie deficit.
Yeah.
I've gotten to the habit of if I feel like I'm hungry, I'm gonna feed myself. And that's just
Sure.
simply
Yeah.
because I spent a lot of my adult life not feeding myself because
Mm.
depression or not having money or food. And I'm like, well, I'm not in a situation anymore where I can't feed myself. So if I feel like I'm hungry, I'm gonna do it because that's what my body feels like it needs. Granted, because of these terrible habits, I've gotten some terrible eating patterns, and like eating late at night before bed happens constantly now. Uh,
Oh yeah. That was always the killer for me. Was like
yeah,
eating and then going to bed.
yeah, that's definitely where I'm at right now,
Yep.
and I gotta stop doing that. Um, but
On
I've
the bright side though, like that was I don't know. I'm sure I've told you about the like intermittent fasting that I do.
yeah.
I actually think I don't need it anymore. At least the app that I use to time,
Yeah,
like,
because you've trained your body.
yeah, yeah. For like the first 2 years, it was I had to turn that thing on every time. And then I would look at it and go, "Man, I
How much
don't get to
longer?
eat. Yeah,
Yeah.
for like 8 more hours, I should just go to bed." Now it's like, well, I don't really wanna eat after 5 just because I know it's gonna screw up my sleep. I know,
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna I'm gonna feel it in the morning. My, like, weight's gonna shift just because I ate at 5, or, like, at 7 rather than at 5.
Yeah. No, Jacob, he's also fasting right now.
Mm,
Um, and he's working out every couple of days, so that's pretty cool for him. He's
nice.
trying to
Mhm.
get me to do it too, and I'm like, no. Mostly like like realistically, again, because I'm lazy as shit, and I don't want to stop eating because, again, I don't know. I think it's just it might be a trauma response, low key, to
It's
not.
definitely comforting. I love
Yeah.
food. Yeah.
I'm very much a stress and emotional eater. So if I'm overwhelmed or like feeling really big emotions, I'm gonna eat, and that's
You
not
know what you
healthy, of
should start
course.
doing? You should pick a drug, right?
No,
Like
stop
like
where you are.
yeah,
No,
start
just stop
start
it.
getting some cigarettes, they
Shut
they
the
make you
fuck
wanna
up.
stop eating.
No, what was I gonna say? I think, or like I intermittent fasted a couple years ago, and it was kind of nice. But at that time, I was also cooking at home. I was staying with my grandparents, so like I was cooking all the time. I was making smoothies whenever I was able to eat. Like I
Mm,
was eating healthy and whatnot. Like I think at that point, that's when I was in a calorie deficit for sure. But where I'm at right now, because I eat so unhealthily and so sporadically, I don't think it's a good idea for me to start doing that at the moment because I don't
yeah.
have I need to go to the grocery store first of all and get stuff to cook and make food and things like that because I used to be a snacker, if you remember.
Oh, sure,
These
yeah.
days I haven't really been snacking much because I don't have stuff to snack on anymore. I usually
Right.
just eat meals and that's it. And when
Yeah.
I was snacking, I think that's probably when I was eating like meals a lot less because I would snack throughout the day. Now it's like, oh, it's time for lunch. Oh, it's time for dinner. Oh, it's time for breakfast type shit.
Nice,
Uh,
yeah.
but yeah, I
You
don't know.
gotta there's a I think there was a big shift, um, like, have you heard of the abundance mindset?
I don't think so.
Okay, from what I understand, it's basically like it's sort of the opposite of a starvation mindset, where it's like there's not enough to go around, so we need to be very careful about what we use.
Hmm.
Versus the abundance mindset is like there's so much to go around for everybody that it doesn't matter, right? Like I can give this person money, or I can give this person food, and it doesn't matter because there's enough for everybody out there, right?
Yeah,
And both situations, the starvation and the abundance mindset, can be true at like the exact same moment, just based
yeah,
on whoever is looking at that situation. For me, I feel like I was in a starvation mindset for a really long time. That's why I was like, uh, I would eat out all the time because it was easier and cheaper than you know going to the store and buying a bunch of healthy groceries.
yeah,
But nowadays, I feel a lot more like I feel like I've been trying. to make a more manual shift to the abundance mindset,
Mhm.
just because I feel like it's certainly more healthy for me, not worrying about like, oh man, this is hard to
Mhm.
put into words. It's hard to describe this. Where it's like, yeah, there's such an abundance of everything that I can eat less, and I don't have to worry about like where my next meal is coming from because I
Yeah.
have it so planned out, because there's so much that I don't need to worry about it. Does
Okay. No,
that make any sense?
no, that makes a lot of sense. I think low key that's also why like things like meal prepping is good to get you out of that
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, I have enough food now to last these many days, and you slowly train yourself to be like, hey, I know I have enough food to make this last, so I don't have to scarf it all down now.
Yes. It
I get
was
that.
kind of a move away from the like, I totally understand the eat when you're hungry, drink when you're thirsty, like, thing. That's just
Hmm.
humanity, right? My
Unfortunately.
body personally is kinda I don't trust it. I didn't trust it so much. Now, I have learned, I think, that it is accurate a lot more than I was giving it credit for.
Hmm.
But I was doing me the person versus me the body were doing the wrong thing. Like the body was like, we're hungry, and then I was like, oh yeah, well let's go get the biggest amount of food I could possibly get and stop
Oh
this.
yeah,
Versus
definitely.
versus me now is more like my body's like, we're going to die, and I'm like, I know we've been almost dying for a really long time.
Oh no.
Here's a little bit of food. It's like, oh, right, okay, so we aren't dying. Like, that is accurate. You are correct, body. You are right in that we are hungry, but you are wrong in that we are dying.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. I think that's where I'm at right now. I definitely am dealing with that scarcity mindset. Probably
A
due to
scarcity
trauma, of
mindset.
course.
That's totally
Yeah,
what
I
it
looked
is.
it up.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely due to just life and trauma and whatnot, growing up poor and like having to struggle with money for most of my adult life. And it's like, dang, I can afford to, keep buying food. I can't afford to do this thing. I can't afford to go out. So why not do it? Because I have it, but it's not.
Right.
It hasn't
Yeah.
got to a point of it's in the it's like the mindset of because I can, I will. Not I don't have to just because I can.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And that's probably where I am now. I mean, and it doesn't help that I'm also a very generous and giving person. Like, if somebody needs something, I'll very much be like, "Hey, I can like spot you," or like, "If you need help with something, let me know. I got you," type shit.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
very
yeah.
much will put someone else's needs over my own, and I've been trying to do better at not doing that. But at the same time, it's like I've been where you are, like, and I understand that struggle. I don't want you to struggle if I can do something about it. And I think because of that, I also end up running out of my own resources or running out of my resources faster because
Mhm.
uh I'm trying to help somebody out to make sure they don't end up in that same boat.
Yeah. It's a tough boat to balance in, that's for sure.
Absolutely. I hate being selfish unless I need to, in most cases. When it comes to like being giving and generous, I hate being selfish, of course.
Yeah. But we
Uh
just got to do what all those motivational, YouTube videos that are voiced by the artificial intelligence tell us to do, right?
Yeah, just cut everybody out,
Yeah.
go off on a self-enlightenment journey and
Disappear for a
uh
year, come
exactly.
back, and suddenly you're Sin Goku or whatever his name is.
Exactly. It's my training arc.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, speaking of
honestly
the training
contemplating doing
arc, we're kind
those.
of at time, aren't we here? I guess we should probably
Oh,
call this.
yeah. Speaking of training arc, I
Ooh,
guess you guys will see us post time skip next time you see us, you hear from us.
yeah. Post time skip.
Yeah, because it's time's gonna pass while we're gone.
That's right. We're going on a
That was a joke.
week or potentially 2-week training arc because that seems to be what we keep doing.
It
I
depends on how life
promise
is going.
we'll be back next
Soon.
week. I'm making that promise right
Don't make that
now.
promise, because what if I break the promise?
Well, we have to come back next Saturday because next Friday I have tickets to Friday Night SmackDown
Oh,
over in
snap!
Austin.
That's exciting.
I know. I was very. Can you believe? Can you believe they charged
He's
me
come full circle.
$30 worth of fees just to buy these tickets
On top of everything?
on top of it? It was
What
like
the fuck?
I didn't think it was too bad, right? Looking at it going, "Okay, well, it's like $60 for this event. That's not bad," right?
Mhm.
I've gone to events in the past that were like $100, and that was awful. It's like, I don't wanna do that. It's like, "Okay, $60, that's not bad. I'm kind of in the nosebleeds, but who
Mhm.
cares, right? I'm going there for the experience and the energy." And then it was like, "Actually, you're paying like $97." And I went,
What
"Why am I
the
paying
heck?
$97 for these tickets?" It's like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, we have venue fees and the old Ticketmaster fees and blah, blah, blah." I'm going, "You people
That's how they
are the
get you, I
worst." Yep,
guess.
yep. So to everybody out there, I don't know, go to events, it's the spice of life, but Ticketmaster,
We need to talk.
yeah, we need to maybe pay a visit to our friend Luigi.
Oh, no.
Right?
That's it, cut it right there. Get out of
Yep,
here.
yep, that's it. That's